moment to break. None of those champions are available here for Bro this time around. Let's see what they decide to do with this Game 2 draft.
Yeah, and I think that it's actually going to be a big test here for KT. They kind of colossally failed against HLE to kind of bounce back after a loss, and they've continued to fail to do so, right? Having lost 3 games in a row so far in this week alone, with the end of round 1 and now the beginning of round 2. This should have theoretically been the way to put KT back on the rails once again. But maybe we're just careening from the sky and gravity is beginning to once again take hold of KT Rolster. But we'll just have to see because we are into the champion select for game number 2. And already Rumble and the Varus going to be taken away. Nocturne, Karma, Orianna, and Lucian were the bans in game number 1. And second pick this time will belong to KT Rolster. So we'll see what they're going to use that for. And what that means as far as which bans are going to be coming through, right? Like, will the Orianna be given over? Is the Nocturne still going to be such high priority? And the Lucian ban, I feel, is the big flex here for KT.
I think they will probably wield it again, as they'll also ban away the Nocturne. Now, the Orianna could go into Roamer's hands because they have first pick this time, but the Karma is gone, the Varus is gone. We'll see what this final ban ends up being here. One of the picks that's still left available that's incredibly strong is Xin. With the Jarvan was taken away by Fearless, obviously, and with the priority we saw on Lee Sin, that still remains up there. Pantheon also still strong, but again, dropped in prio a lot over the last week.
Yeah, I do feel like if you're going to play the Pantheon, you do really need to go very hard in the early game as, another Lucian ban. The Lucian Melio has been flavor of the month, or flavor of the week, at least. And so maybe that is what they're targeting here with that particular ban.
It did simplify
teaming.
Yeah, it did simplify the Orianna ban here for KT Rolster since they banned the Lucian themselves. So that made that very easy. Although it kind of feels like the Nocturne ban isn't as strong now. Lulu Yunara could just be what you want to go for here. Obviously, at first pick, you don't have to lock that right away. The other option would have been the Ashe Seraphine lane. They get the Ashe first pick. Let's see if KT Rolster can muster up a Seraphine pick away here. We've seen a few different ones that have found success. Kind of feel like KT are the type of team that would rather just go head-to-head rather than try to get half to just deny.
Yeah, I feel like a Xin Zhao Lulu, though, would feel really good. That being said, sometimes you do just want to try and deny the powerful bottom lane that you do see.
Everett's a very good Seraphine.
Yep. And so it certainly does make some sense, but I do want to see something that actually does synergize well with it.
I think you got to go for the Xin here because it works well with the Seraphine.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's the strongest jungler on the patch. They're taking the Jhin instead. I feel like you didn't really have to do this, which makes me feel like Cuz has something in mind here, something a little bit unusual. Maybe he's expecting they take Xin, he's going to take Trundle, which is a Cuz favorite, but I would have rather just see the Xin and you get Jhin on 3, as the Lulu is going to go over here.
The good old Ashe Lulu.
And now they can get Lulu Xin and feel very good about it, and also build around this draft with other picks that are empowered by Lulu as well in the top lane.
Well, Xin Zhao is a no-brainer. But
so is it just Trundle?
Yeah, is it Trundle? Is it something more fun, like a Kha'Zix, for example? That could be something.
I feel like Kha'Zix doesn't work as well with the Seraphine. One of the picks that worked really well with Seraphine in the past was the Mundo, but it's completely fallen out of favor, so I don't think that's going to be what Cuz has in mind. The Trundle...
favorite of Cuz's, though.
Yeah, the Trundle feels like it's just too obvious here, and I think they have something else in mind. Wukong does do well here, but it does not do well early.
Yeah, that's what I'm a little bit worried about. Obviously, Seraphine Jhin will be able to hold their own regardless, but the level of safety isn't there quite as much as even the Seraphine Ashe, just because you do have volley to slow down anyone that does want to try and come in and attack you. So I think that Gideon is going to have a field day in the early stages of this game.
I'm a little bit, I don't want to say worried, but cautiously focused on what Roamer is going to pick here, because this is where things can get a little bit weird with this draft into the Wukong, and you have Seraphine Jhin. If you end up losing lane as Roamer here, your draft can fall apart completely because you're going to need more damage threat than just this Ashe in a draft like this with the Lulu. The Anivia is taken away by BDD. We'll see if he takes anything else away. Like, he could ban Akali, and then go for the Azir first, because they have first pick priority next. That could also be banned in response to the Akali, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah, the last time around it was the Rise Azir banned away by the Bros. The Ambessa.
Ambessa is incredibly good with Lulu, and it was one I was thinking about in this draft, but I know we don't love Ambessa here right now, and the win rate is not great, but I do think it's great for what Hanj and Brianna put together, so a wise ban. It also makes it a little bit less face-up what BDD is trying to do here.
Yeah, I think we need BDD on something that's going to scale massively and do a lot of damage. I think that's what they're going to require, as the Vayne will be taken away. Is it just a Scion angle here for the Bros?
They're going to look for the Ahri pick here, as, I mean, you can play Akali, you can play also the Sylas into Ahri. And with the Vayne ban, you can also go Jace if you feel confident you can win against Perfect's Yorick. As Aurora was not really one I considered here, just because
I feel like Ahri has an okay matchup into the Aurora.
Yeah, and also Roamer doesn't strike me as the type of player who would be able to handle the difficulty of Aurora in this draft. I think something like this Akali makes a lot more sense for his playstyle, and he's already had such a great start here with his re-debut on it, but he goes over to what's a little bit more meta here on the Aurora. Win rate not that great. We've seen most of our top players find the success that our middle teams have not. Then the Yorick was always going to come through if that Jace came through, and we knew the Jace was coming as soon as we saw that ban of the Vayne.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a mistake, the blind Jace into the available Yorick, because I feel like Yorick can teamfight in a composition like this that has so much extra utility to allow him to lumber up to you and hit you with a shovel.
Yeah,
right?
He was like, in game one, he was like, well, with a Bard pick, I'm just going to ban the Jace. I don't want to deal with that. You know, I don't want to play Yorick in this comp. But in this game, he was like, you can have it. I'm taking away the Ambessa, which is much more empowered by Lulu. We have the Seraphine. We have the Wukong. This composition for KT Rolster is so incredibly sticky. If you hit somebody with the Wukong ultimate, BD's ulting in, he's charming you. Yorick is there setting up a wall, making it difficult to move around as Ashe and do that kiting that she's so good at.
Yeah, and with the fact that they have double Cyclones every team fight and Encore flying through, like, I mean, aiming doesn't even need to do very much aiming. Let's just say that. Like, the curtain call will just kind of land on people in this game. So I have a feeling that this one might feel a little bit better for KT Rolster, but we'll just have to see, because so much about what made today so special for the Bros is their performance on the Rift, not necessarily Coach Song's performance in the draft, right? These players are just firing on all cylinders right now, and KT, we haven't seen them recover ever since their loss to Harmwell Life Esports. Let's get onto the Rift for Game 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for the second game of the series. Already, Roma paying some attention towards this bottom lane, as Effort getting a lot of value. The Dancing Grenade also working out there, but they get the heal. That is going to feel great.
It is a very powerful level 1 with Ashe Lulu, even into the Seraphine. Try to find an angle there, but ultimately Roma will kind of be the one who ends up losing out, because he will not be able to get the advantage early on in this lane. And BDD wants to try to trade Electrocute. Ooh!
Nicely done by Roma. And Roma is also, you know, not going to miss any CS or anything like that, so he is just fine. BDD does get the shove, like you were talking about, but not going to be quite as valuable as if he had managed to get an experience lead.
Yeah, if he was able to also deny, like if the Q missed there, then, you know, he can do a lot more, but because it hits, that's the end of that. The heal being gone in the bottom lane is impactful. It will make it a little bit easier for Teddy and Namgung. See what they can try to do here in return.
Yeah, aiming does land a fourth shot, but it's a really nice shield from Namgung there. As Effort, yeah, this his Seraphine is pretty annoying.
He's very good at this pick. I believe it was even his debut pick when he started here in the LCK for 2026. At least he played it in the series for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
He played 2 Enchanters, I think it was Seraphine and the Lulu.
Was the time where the Ashe Seraphine was certainly having a bit of a moment as well here in the LCK, so it would be absolutely no surprise. As Perfect is going to be taking a lot of damage here, but obviously the early levels are not when you really pick this Yorick for.
Roamer, by the way, insane pressure in the mid lane. This is his first time playing this champ this season. He is really starting off flying on, or firing on all cylinders. As you can see, BDD has not lost a game on this Ahri pick just yet, but he's losing lane right now.
Oh, there's the beat drop on to Namgung here as well. He's taking so much damage. They needed one more auto or anything.
I'm surprised
get the flash out.
Aiming didn't flash for that because he had his 4th shot ready. This does not decide to go for it. They don't have any vision in the jungle, which makes it a little bit more, makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Gideon making his way in. The flash follow immediately. There is the wind becomes lightning to take down the Seraphine. And the flash was not enough to get effort to safety, and that is first blood going over to Gideon. And also, still Namgung gets an assist, still Teddy gets an assist for that moment as well. And it did feel like it was all the Xin Zhao, so going to be really important for the bro bottom lane.
Absolutely. Again, I don't have hard confirmation that was Gideon's brother in the audience, but if it is, I'm sure he's proud, and if it's not, I'm sure he's very happy.
I think he's proud anyway, no matter whether they're related or not.
Yeah.
I think it's just been a pretty good day for Gideon here today.
BDD misses the charm here.
Now, Foxfire doing a fair bit of work, but Roma hitting all the buttons as Effort making his way over. The Seraphine gank is not exactly the most terrifying, but he's still going to look for the angle here. As BDD, level 4, still looking for it, as down to about 100 health, and Roma is just outplaying 2 people in this mid lane right now. Charm just barely missing, and BDD having a bit of a rough time here in this lane.
Yeah, flash trade. And they both already teleported, so Romer's really loving this exchange, as well as the fact that Effort wasn't in bottom lane, so the bottom lane is a lot more stable now. And they got the assist gold you already talked about, and Bro are winning everywhere at this moment in time. And I think the reason why Romer played so safe there was because BDD was not selling the idea of Seraphine coming up very well at all. After he missed his charm and Romer had weirding, he just kept taking damage to the face repeatedly, and I think Romer was like, okay, well, there's something up.
Yeah, something weird is happening here. Deadly Flourish going to connect that onto Teddy, but Effort is once again looking a little worse for wear. It's now Cuz's turn. Try and get something done. This Wukong, hard farming at the moment, has made it to level 5, but is a long way from that Cyclone. And Perfect just having to farm with his E over and over again.
Yeah, this is the early parts of this matchup go for the Yorick, so pretty par for the course. But casting is putting that pressure on. Both mid laners are flashless. And one of these 2 junglers pre-6 can make a little bit of a stronger impact than the other, as Cuz is kind of here just hanging out defensively, whereas Gideon's clearing Raptors and he's actually a real threat. BDD is going to keep this wave pretty close to his turret for now. Say that. Comes over and starts clearing it. This is a very volatile matchup to where if one of these 2 champions gets ahead, it becomes very difficult for the other one to actually properly play the game because of the electrocute procs you can get. BDD is not going to get the 6 advantage.
No. This is looking a little frightening as Cuz moving on down, seeing whether he can stop Gideon from taking this dragon. And Gideon just going to give this one up for now. There's the beat drop. Will connect. Deadly Flourish comes down as well as Cuz gets into Nimbus Strike range. The immediate polymorph is good, but Gideon should still be going down. It's Effort to get some revenge, but now Roma comes over to take down Aiming. Can they destroy the Ashe? They are going to be able to do so. And now Namgung just doing his best to try and escape, but BDD, he's got another charge of that Spirit Rush, and this is a very dead Lulu. Effort, in fact, just kind of killing everyone in that last exchange.
Pretty game-saving this fight here around Dragon. This is what KT have been most known for this season, his first Dragon skirmishes. And BDD is 1 minion away from level 6, but he doesn't have it. And so because of this, Romer's like, all right, I think we can win this fight. I want you guys to keep pushing it. I think this feels like a Romer call, because like, as soon as I get there with my ult, we clean up house. And he destroys Aiming, who doesn't even flash in this exchange. But then BDD with the kill gets level 6, gets the chase down here. And too much damage was done before Romer got there is the real problem. If he was there the whole time, I don't think KT even opted in there, but it was a little bit slow to arrive. And so KT, with a big swing back of gold, even the game up quite significantly. Unfortunately for them, the kill went over to Effort there in the end, so he has 2 kills to his name, and the lead isn't necessarily where they really wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, Seraphine getting fed, it's probably not the worst thing. You know, you get your Hellier early, and I feel like you do just get a whole lot more done.
And critically, KT didn't get the dragon, but now Cuz has level 6, so they should be able to get it.
Yeah, beat drop comes down there, but Teddy not going to be too worried about any sort of follow-up. Great glitter lance from Namgung, but still does feel like this KT bottom lane is having an all right time. I do still dislike Jhin. I do want to tell everyone that I'm still not a huge fan, but it is better than it was in the past.
Yeah, in terms of items picked up too right now, I mean, Teddy has Greaves, which are so good for him. And yes, Swifties are very good for Jhin, but not going to be as powerful in these 2v2s. So really tough for Aiming to kind of fight his way out of this one.
Yeah. Well, Casting now dealing with a wave crashing towards him. Perfect has kind of evened things up after the difficult early game. This is kind of the time where the Yorick starts to feel better. Obviously, the Trinity Force is going to feel the best, but just even getting some plated steel caps going to allow you to stand your ground a little bit more, getting a few points into your abilities.
And still the Dragon has not gone over. They lost control of the bottom 2v2, and Cuz was down there, but he was like, this is too risky, and he decides to go for the full clear instead.
And now, all of a sudden, after that little skirmish, BDD is in full control of this lane. We know that he has fully taken over games on the Ahri, but the early laning phase has been something that BDD's also been phenomenal at. But this game, Roma really had his number. Just feels like it may have shifted almost artificially, right, with that bottom skirmish.
When you get the last chapter, I mean, Ahri is so reliant on having mana to constantly trade and proc electrocutes, it gets a little bit easier.
Gideon Grubs?
Gideon Grubs, indeed. At least he wants one.
Gideon Grub. It's just Gideon Grub today.
It's okay. He'll take 1 grub over 0 grubs any day.
He absolutely will. It's all right. Teddy just trying to hold down the fort here in this bottom lane. He's taking a lot of damage. That beat drop also hurting.
BDD has not teleported. Okay, hold up.
Oh dear. The curtains have been called. Namgung is going to try and tank it here for Teddy, but might need to sacrifice a whole bunch of his health bar, and there it is. Great beat drop there to make sure that last shot is going to land. The Q really does hurt low health targets, doesn't it? Maybe it's not Effort's fault that he steals all the kills. His Deadly Flourish is barely not able to stop the back of the Lulu.
BDD didn't teleport until just now. I thought there was an angle potentially with BDD getting pushed in to where they could have baited Teddy to chase there with Gideon coming over and the BDD like teleports behind or something like that with that control ward in the brush. But he just heads right back to lane, and we don't see Gideon commit to the fight, so they just end up getting that push through, and the reset comes over. And the game is still incredibly close right now. You know, we look at this Yorick getting a little bit more formidable, as you can see here in the lane now.
Yeah, you need to land your E's, and he did. And so Casting's going to lose out on that trade. Dealing with all of these ghouls is just kind of annoying. And so Perfect pretty happy with how things are going right now, despite the 500 gold deficit. And Ghoulie War coming on through here, as Perfect is actually looking for even more. Does go to the skies, but was almost close to the skies in a different way.
Yeah, he's going to be able to hit that Crystalline Overgrowth, and Perfect should be able to pick up some extra gold here to even out this matchup a little bit more, as BDD and Romer are battling.
Yeah, really nice sidestep there from BDD, as he is just going to be able to keep shoving these waves in. Teddy
Perfect
for an angle here, as Effort is going to miss the beat drop. There's a Deadly Flourish to stop Teddy from doing more, but still, Teddy is just kind of on fire today.
He really is. He kind of has been like his whole career, you know, he hasn't had too many missteps. Like, sometimes it feels like Teddy's success should be measured by who he's playing with, but he has just looked great today, as you say, and, you know, Perfect starting to turn that top matchup a little bit, but isn't able to get the kill there as, okay, constant action here in this bottom lane. Finally, that dragon is going to get taken.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Because there is a blast cone to bring Cuz on in here. Finds a Cyclone, but he's a little bit alone. A lot alone. As now the Encore is going to catch Gideon, but the Crescent Guard is so good. BDD completely is just not able to do anything, and Effort is also going to be dying in this fight. Roma, now very low. Namgung as well. And BDD, oh man, he really wants to press R and try and find some sort of angle here, as there is the charm. And now he's out of buttons. And the flash in from Romer is immediately going to get a flash response from BDD.
There's nothing, like, the only thing that play from BDD's reeks of is desperation. Like, he was nowhere near the damage to kill Namgung there and almost lost his life for the attempt. Has to flash away. Incredibly strange there, but you could feel his frustration.
Oh no, Cuz!
Yeah, Cuz he just sent it.
But he also sent BDD the wrong direction.
Yeah. BDD does get over the wall here ultimately, but cannot do enough damage because, like you said, he barely has enough mana to ult back over the wall. And then Namgung kind of chases him, and then he gets baited. And finally, KT, after losing the fight, will get this dragon.
This happens so many times where you just have this weird fight that you kind of lose, but then you do get a better position after a reset, and then you still manage to take down the objective. So
you get your health full faster, and you run to the dragon.
Yep. Oh no! Perfect! Protect her! No, it's not going to happen. Casting is going to kill the Maiden, And so Perfect is just going to be feeling sad. Still, 500 gold is the lead between the top laners, so that has not changed. As Namgung is fighting aiming. He does have one more bullet left in the chamber, but now he's reloading as he runs away.
There's no Cyclone, so this isn't even really necessarily a bait, but Effort doesn't have ult either. Like, I don't know if they can get anything out of this, but they're going to try.
Yeah. Namgung is going to be on vision. There is that last bullet, as aiming just looks to try and take this Lulu down. Namgung can...
Teddy has arrow?
There's 1 second on the Wild Growth as well. He will be able to use it to interrupt Cuz as he makes his way in. The arrow will connect as Cuz looks to try and kill Teddy here. Down goes Effort, and now Teddy wants to kill aiming as well. Another Cyclone comes in. Barrier not going to be enough to save the Wukong, save the Ashe, and it is Cuz that locks down that kill. But now Gideon, he's smelling a double kill here. They do get some buttons back, as there is the Warrior Trickster. That sidestep. Thanks, Swifties.
Amazing sidestep there from aiming. Like you mentioned, the Swifties playing a huge role in his escape there. And KT punched back in a big way. It was so close to backfiring, though. Cuz is forced to flash. Gideon is there almost in time to get 2. See, initially here, I was like, okay, well, Effort doesn't have ult. Cuz doesn't have ult. Let's see if this can work. But not only does he hit the final shot here on the Namgung, but he also helps clear these minions so they can actually set up for a dive a little bit faster so Teddy can't rejoin. And now those ults are coming back up, so it's really tough for Teddy to get here. But he does have arrow, right? And he holds it very patiently and looks for the hit here onto the Jhin to deny a lot of that damage. Aiming does not pick up turret aggro, though.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it does not work out. But a cool play from Teddy nonetheless. They get the flash out of Cuz, and then here... You know, it's aiming just barely escaping as Gideon wants to get on top of this Jhin and get the double. As you can see, Cuz is trying to actually buy space, and unfortunately for Gideon, he ends up getting neither of them as a result.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. Fleet footwork actually doing a fair bit there for aiming on top of those Swifties. As now we have the top laners parking themselves here in this bottom lane. Looking to try and grab some more plate money where they can find it. Perfect, I think, did manage to at least purchase his first item. There it is. The Trinity Force is now done for him and Cuz. As Roma and BDD on this top side. It's this 1v1. It's still working out okay for Roma.
Yeah.
Because BDD in the earlier stages obviously did get a very large gold lead. Roma hasn't been too perturbed.
I mean, the dash cannon gives you so much health that it's hard for BDD to really threaten kills. Cuz coming in.
Yeah, Cuz can definitely threaten some kills, but the Wild Growth is going to keep Teddy alive. Still the siege is on. Thumbs up there from Namgung is going to say, good work pressing your R button, as Gideon looking to go in, wants to try and just kill Effort here, and he might just be able to do so. No flash available, and he is just dead.
Okay, well, he finds the angle there. It wasn't exactly the angle I think he expected off the Blast Cone, but gets on top of the Seraphine nonetheless. And Effort does not flash away and dies. It's his 4th death of the game. Had a lot of deaths early on in the previous game as well on the Bard. Having a bit of a tough one here. As we see KT considering a contest of this Herald, BDD does have his ult, and he does have control of that top wave. He's going to have to get here real quick. Here's the TP from Yorick as well.
Yep. And the TP is going to follow there from casting. That will be the Herald secured by the Bros. As Gideon into the Ghoulie wall, but will he survive? That is the question. Oh my goodness, he will, as there's the curtain call. Sidestep's going to be required. Teddy saves his jungler. The rest of KT, though, looking for more, as Roma is in a lot of trouble. That was almost another snipe from Effort to try and grab a kill, and there's the beat drop. Deadly Flourish to follow. Perfect having to flash out of the way, and aiming just dead to Teddy. Cuz puts him down immediately as they trade 80 carries, but it's a double kill for this Wukong. 100% kill contribution, and Cuz is a monster right now.
He is huge at this point in time. This is bopping Teddy there. Now, I think the reason why Bro commits so heavily to this fight, including the Aurora ult here, is because they know there's no Cyclone. If there's Cyclone in so many moments in this fight, KT just smash it. They kill everyone. But the ultimate there from Effort doesn't land, and these health bars are so incredibly low here for KT as they continue to chase. Roamer, look at this, like he goes down to basically 1 health. They finally get him. Casting gets caught here, they spent everything, but then Perfect has to flash away because he's like, that's just too much damage. He gets away, Teddy gets the kill, and Cuz finally gets that shutdown. But man, Gideon and Teddy, I'm no closer to knowing who's really going to pick up POM if they end up winning this game.
Yeah,
because
no,
they're both having an insane series together. We should just give it to both of them and make an exception.
I'm feeling like right now, I'm feeling Gideon, but we aren't at the point in the game where Teddy really is able to thrive. Still wanting to put together his second item, aiming doing the same thing. And then on 3, I feel like both of these champions do scale relatively similarly, as BDD having to use his ulti to get out of the way of Casting. Still finds a nice little electrocute proc, but it's not quite doing enough. And Casting just comes on over and destroys that turret. That will be turret number 1 going over to the Bros. And Drake going to be secured by KT. Infernal Soul this game. That is very high value for both of these teams.
Yeah, it's huge. Right now, it's 2 dragons for KT, though, so the double dragon feels incredibly high value for them, but we always talk about this with Infernal. If you're on the other side and you get tempo advantage and you start stacking a lot of them, that is also incredibly powerful, too. KT still have 2 formidable elemental drakes already, but it's more about the soul. And it just doesn't feel like KT have any tempo vibes, right? Because they have no control over the map. They have not been able to make proactive plays. A lot of their wins have been reactionary or punishes of what Bro were trying to do. But this Ahri is 400 gold behind, or sorry, ahead, but it just doesn't feel that way, right? It doesn't feel like BD is threatening picks all the time, and he's very carefully like staying back in the side lane. He's not threatening turrets. He will eventually, if given enough time here, and some shadow from Cuz, as you can see in the jungle on his flank, might allow him to grab this turret. He's going to have his ult and TP as well, so Rion need to be careful about going into their own jungle right now. There's a lot of threats. Now, as you can see, being very careful about this vision that he's setting up here, but it doesn't look like it's going to amount to that dive I was potentially alluding to there.
Yeah, not just yet. This Jace is also very, very large, largely because of plates that he's managed to take all over the place. I'm going to have to hold that thought. Now I'm going able to turn Cuz into a critter for a moment. Still a bit of a scary, scary time, as Cuz is just so big.
Teddy also leaving the lane here. There's so much power for KT right now, and they are looking for that moment I was talking about with BDD that we haven't seen just yet, where he's actually threatening a big charm angle. Almost feels like Bro are teasing them, though. They know they're there, and they know they cannot spring the trap. And that top turret's still alive. BDD is going to go back and try to push that wave in. Bro handling this pressure so incredibly well, so defensively, so slowly. Even Namgung's warning, you know, you could see he was like, okay, this is risky. Let's play slow. Let's push up. Let's not get caught by them. We know they're there, but let's play around it. Casting going to get caught.
Yeah, Guliwell comes in, does have that W, just to make sure that he destroys it as quickly as possible. It is going to work out. But you can see in the 1v1, Perfect is actually starting to get ahead, even if he is 1.3k gold behind. That is just kind of the nature of this matchup. And KT with a 100 gold lead. This game could not be closer.
Really couldn't.
I swear. Do you know what's crazy about this stage? As we do have a little bit of a charm from the brush from BDD. We're going to try and push Roamer away here, as he does ult to try and escape. Obviously, the Ahri should be able to follow here, but decides not to. And
he wants.
Arrows sailed by, connects onto the Yorick, as Casting, distracted by getting that 50 gold from the Maiden, does manage to do that. Perfect is therefore able to escape.
I don't know if did Gideon clear ward there? I don't know if they saw him, but they want this top turret, and Cuz is going to send it. Like, he's going up here, they're checking the vision. That trade from BDD allows him to push this aggressively, as Roamer had to leave, and I think they will actually get the turret in exchange here. So pretty big win for KT Rolster. This was definitely their game plan. Gideon wanted to set up something with that arrow on the other side, but it just does not pan out. Perfect gets away for free. It's just going to head straight back down to the bottom lane. We'll miss a minion or two, but doesn't even TP, so he's still got that big summoner for an upcoming team fight here.
Yeah, I feel like Casting just got a whole lot stronger, though. Gets the transformation immediately as he puts his Manamune together.
You can really see Atlas in the lead here from BDD's just side laning alone. Like, he has a ton of extra farm. He has that turret now. So important for him that he couldn't get the big win in the skirmish, but he's basically forced the gold into his hands through side laning, and now he has a lead that actually allows us Ahri to be very relevant.
Very scary in this game, as they're looking to grab another turret here. BDD looks for the charm. We don't quite get it, as aiming, taking a lot of damage. Teddy standing his ground, though. As we were saying, that mojo, Teddy still wielding it, even if this game is very, very close. Does have his Phantom Dancer now together. Aiming does have a BF sword as well as his first 2 items, though.
KT might look for the punish here on the Casting.
Yeah, Cuz comes down, distracted by some honey fruit, as BDD looking for it here against Casting, as he almost just kills the Ahri. Does get out of the way, and look at Cuz. What a gentleman. He does have to flash and Cyclone to try and avoid death here. Gets another one as Gideon tanks up this turret and will be able to take down the monkey. Teddy looking for an angle here very aggressively. And Roma just keeping Perfect at bay, aiming nowhere in sight, and the Bros, they fire back, and they have a momentary gold lead.
Now, KT have been so good at turning these aggressive plays from Brolo into something else on the other side of the map. Talking about BDD side laning earlier, he got that turret. Right now, we see a turret go down for aiming. This initially looked like KT were like, oh, this is so free, like when casting went in, but it was actually Bro who had the faster rotation. They had the mid control. And I think that wasn't communicated to BDD very well here as he goes incredibly low. Cuz has to cycle in defensively, still ends up going down here. They will get a turret in exchange, but at least in the extended play, aiming is shoving, right? Yorick is shoving in the top lane, so KT are winning elsewhere.
Ooh, speaking of Perfect, going to take a big old chunk from casting as the Dragon is going to be taken here by the Bros. Roman now looking for an angle as well. As he goes between worlds, doesn't find too much, and the rest of the Bros not quite there for the follow-up, but just to try and dissuade them from coming in. Picking the gap there is the Shock Blast.
The Aurora is so tanky this game and has those Merc treads as well that are upgraded. So when you see him go in like that, you're like, ooh, is he going to get punished? And then he takes like no damage.
Yep.
And then he gets out. I actually really like going for the Merc treads in this matchup into the Ahri, and also, you know, for what you're trying to
Seraphine as well. I mean, I feel like there will be a lot of tenacity value as BDD just observes the arrow as it sails by.
Now KT have full grasp over this bottom side of the map with no arrow. Can actually stick around for this wave to grab a plate. I don't think they want to push it any further, especially without vision of Baron or where Teddy is right now. So they're going to relinquish control, at least with the group, and BDD will be the only one who stays down here with TP. This is such a good game. Like
This is such a good series. Like every Bro series over the last 3 of them has been so good.
And I knew that there was a chance KT could lose this, but I didn't know it was going to be like me being happy for Bro and not disappointed in KT. You know what I mean? Like I thought KT was going to drop the ball more than I thought Bro was going to seize the moment, even though I've been such a Bro champion this season because
Which is weird,
so
because
good.
you are the known Bro anti most of the time.
Well, I mean, Chronicle was the true.
He was the true Bro anti, but like you were also there with him. Like I feel like you guys bonded over being a Bro anti.
It's true. I definitely like called him out on it first because I knew he was one of us. But like now I'm a bro believer. I'm a bro believer.
Yeah.
Born again believer.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not for Cuz, who takes a lot of damage from Roma. But otherwise, it's going to be okay. We can talk about Bro Leaf right now because they haven't thrown this game away just yet, and they're continuing not to do so as Roma gets a lot of damage there. Still, they're turning onto Perfect as BDD trying to keep him alive, but that is going to be a great Crescent Guard. Means that Gideon is going to be absolutely fine, and the Yorick is just dead before this fight's even really started. As Casting looking to try and turn it now onto Cuz. Roma still holding them in position. As aiming, not quite finding the buttons that he wants to. And all of the Bros are still alive. Curtains have been called as now BDD wants to change that. Looks to try and take down Namgung here, but now needs to get himself out. And he has to flash to get out of the way. No more Spirit Rushes up and available. And with no flash, he is just dead. The Bros are just better.
They just straight up are. And this feels like old KT, where BDD and Cuz are trying to do everything, and the rest of the map feels a little bit bleak. They still have gold leads in mid. They still have a gold lead for the Jhin, but it's moments like this where you can see Bro know how to use their tempo. They know how to use their advantages. They're pushing onto Effort here with this Aurora, and he knows that he can escape. And then they're going to get the punish here onto Yorick. BDD goes for a teleport because he's like, I can bail him out. I can set up this fight, but he's just too disjointed for the rest of the squad. Romer didn't get a kill, didn't do that much damage, but his efforts alone were enough to keep the rest of KT at base so that the flank from BDD just does nothing. And then it's just desperation here again. BDD trying to go back in, essentially into 3 people, and it has to flash away.
Yeah, it just feels like all of these fights are so incredibly disjointed, and Bro's composition thrives under those conditions, right? KT wants to layer Encore, Cyclones, things like this. It's like a press R composition, hold them down and take them out. And this is just not how they're able to play it into what Bro have been setting up. And it's been Bro setting it up. Oh god, aiming I think might have to use some of his higher cooldown buttons, and he does.
Does use the flash there. I'm totally with you on this, especially when you consider the Ashe there. You know, if the fight slows down, the Ashe is like, okay, you pressed all the buttons. Now you can't get to me ever, and I do a lot of damage.
Infinity Edge in hand for both of these AD carries, but I feel like aiming hasn't really been able to utilize it as well as Teddy so far.
Well, when you're playing Jhin and your comp isn't winning and they're not able to proactively start the fights, like you mentioned, in the draft, Jin doesn't have to aim. Aiming gets to change his nickname for this one if they can land all the CC, but when you're actually using your CC defensively constantly against Bro who are being more proactive, then you're just not having a good time. You're not able to do damage. And you actually do have to aim, and you hope you get those slows because you're going to need them. And if you get those flourishes, rather, or you get the roots, you're going to need those roots to keep your team alive, keep Bro at bay.
It's just kind of crazy how well they're playing this. Casting doing the most damage in the game as well. I mean, the Jace, despite the Yorick that we have seen be a huge thorn in the side of this champion, it's just not really working out. As aiming, the Gold King himself does have the most in the game because they've been funneling so many waves into this Jhin. I don't really like it. I feel like the payoff of giving Jhin more money is just more Jhin, which is not great. Although, you know, aiming is going to have to cleanse. Avoids the arrow though, so now that button is on cooldown. Cuz looking for a flank as the dragon is up and available.
I think KT might just want to give this. I mean, they could fish.
Oh, Roma does find BDD here. And now Cuz looks to make his way in. There's a Cyclone. The Encore comes down as well, but Cuz very close to dying. Thankfully, Effort is going to be there to try and keep him alive, but he will go down in the end. BDD looks for the angle onto Roma, but those boots were made for tanking, and Roma will stay alive. That is going to be a clean ace for the Bros, and they're looking to push up mid lane.
I mean, they kill everyone here. It's 28 minutes into the game. They're opening up the base. You're going to see Roma shoving that top wave here. You're going to get that top top inner, you have to imagine, but they're also going to get Baron. So much damage done. Likely 2 inners plus Baron, turning a 4,000 gold lead probably into upwards of like 7 or 8 after this play. And look at this setup here. The Encore hits only the Crescent guarding Xin Zhao, and the fight is over. BD's trying to turn targets here onto Roamer, but he is so tanky. Has the extra shield as well. This is such an incredible build from Roamer. I talked about earlier, I really think when you're in the thick of things as this Aurora, into the comp of KT, the value of the Merc Treads is so high. The dash cannon value is so high. It's so difficult to kill him. And he gets away here.
God, it's absurd. And also gets the kill credit on that one. Coach Song and Duke both losing their minds in the coaching booth.
And I just don't know if KT can recover. It does go up to 8K.
I mean, I don't think there's any way, right? This is already a 2,000 gold Rebel Baron power play, and the Bros are looking to stack up another Infernal Dragon, and all of the numbers at the bottom of your screen are now blue. They have so many of these luxury items, triple GAs completed, as let's see whether they can kill Casting. I'm thinking it's a no at this point in time, as the Shock Blast is also going to push him away. The arrow will connect. Mikhails is going to be there to try and keep him alive. Crescent Guard from Gideon makes him so incredibly safe, and down goes the Wukong once again. Bro can just do no wrong today. They are so incredibly good. The coordination, the answers that they have in every moment.
And this comp is so easy to play from ahead, as a charm here is just going to tickle Teddy. He does not care. There's no follow-up. TP in the mid lane, they're going to end with this Baron, it feels like. Is it going on aiming?
Yeah, Teddy is just tanking up the turret, walks past it as BDD in so much trouble. Evan having to flash out of the way of Teddy, whose arrows are just destroying them. He is having to back away as they do make it to the relative safety of the fountain, but a curtain call from a fountain is not the way you win a game of League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen, as Casting at about 2 health is taking down inhibitors.
Another wave's going to spill through. There's no defending this.
Arrow isn't going to quite find the mark as Cuz is able to sidestep it. Let's see whether they can try and put on the miracle defense, but I don't think it's going to happen. Down to the G8 goes the Xin Zhao, and now Roma is once again going between worlds, looking to take down BDD. Nexus turret number 2 though, and the Bros will 2-0 KT Rolster in an incredible series, a 2-0 week here today. The Bros were just...
And he did. This moment here, where Teddy also sends it, pretty nuts.
I feel like some of the positions in the draft as well from KT were a little bit suspect, right? Like leaving the Xin Zhao for this composition to pick, deciding to instead pick away the Seraphine to try and mess up this bottom lane, and then Jhin was about as useless as always.
And the Wukong pick didn't give them a lot of power or agency early either.
Yeah.
That was another one that's great for their comp, but into the matchup, did feel a little bit suspect.
Yeah, so there are a few of those moments, but I also think that the capitalization from the bros, not only in the game, but also in the draft, was so great to see, right? And it just shows that every aspect of bro right now is good. Like, the draft, the laning phase is pretty good as well. I mean, that was always a bit of a struggle, like getting out of that's been kind of an aim, but Teddy did so much damage in this game on the Ashe, and he didn't even have the Seraphine.
I'll say it, I think until it's mathematically impossible, bro could be a legend team.
You've been saying that for some time now, Wolf.
I do think this team is incredible. They are way better than their results show. And now they're starting to get the results, as Teddy will pick up player of the match with his Ezreal performance in game 1. My God.
Yeah.
And in an Ashe game in game 2, that was pretty solid. Gideon, I think, going to be some of the votes we do see, but Teddy has been so important for this team. You can see he's actually moving up the Palm standings here, up to 3rd place, just behind Zeka and Chovy.
Exactly right. Even